Pierce. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are back here for another pre-recorded review of SmackDown. Of course, we will be talking about Pierce in this review from SmackDown, the December 16th, 2022 edition of SmackDown, and this took place in Chicago, Illinois. Of course, the one place that gets a lot of love for wrestling. And of course, a certain somebody is from Chicago. His status is still unknown. What he's going to do when he recovers from his tricep injury. But of course, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about SmackDown and Pierce. Call Pierce, as a wise man would say. SmackDown was good this week. Couple little, tidbits. Couple little, nitpicks I have. But it was good. It got the job done. Of course, I was hearing rumors that this is going to be a very must-see episode. And I'll say it was good. We had some, some storyline development. Some things moved forward. And some stuff was just there. But it wasn't horrible. We'll talk about it, though, as we breeze through this as well. As I said back in my AEW Dynamite, Winter is Coming review, AEW Dynamite review, I'm hoping to get live streams going again this week. And I'm going to say hoping because I don't want to promise anything. But definitely tomorrow before Raw, I will be going live, and I'm going to be doing a retro live review that I promised recently. I'm going to do, two I'm going to be doing. But I'm going to do one tomorrow before Raw. But we'll talk about that, of course, later on and sometime tomorrow, though, as well. As, of course, I do also need to make the graphics because I can't have the same champions, be showing up for a retro review. It's going to be whoever was champion back then. But let's talk about this. Let's roll in and talk about this episode of SmackDown. I did miss the first match. I didn't get to watch the first match, but it was Damage Control, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky defending the women's tag titles against a team of Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox. I didn't get to watch this match. I cannot judge it. Damage Control does win, though. Bayley did run interference, but Tegan Nox throws her over the barricade, and she gets attacked by someone in a hoodie, which apparently ended up being Xia Li. Okay, why? I don't know, because it's weird, because last time I saw Xia Li, weren't they teasing a match with her and Emma? And that never happened. So, that is weird. It was very anticlimactic. But Damage Control retains the tag titles. At least some people are winning in that group, unlike Bayley, who isn't. I believe we're getting Bayley and Becky on one-on-one on Raw this coming week. I would have saved that for the Rumble, but they'll probably use that storyline to help promote the Rumble. Probably, I would say at this point. We also get a hype video for Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship match later on the show with him and Ricochet. And then we do have Ricochet get a hype reel as well. Then we have a backstage with Sami Zayn and the Usos, which, I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed with this thing. Because I think all they had Sami improve was he put his long hair in a ponytail. I was hoping we would have been seeing the Sami Zayn of old with the shorter hair, shorter beard. Instead, just a ponytail. And I'm like, that's all he's going to groom? He's going to do the groom? I don't know. I was a little cut back by that. But anyways. But they talk up Sami's makeover, his hair up, and his beard trimmed. Didn't look like that was that much trimmed. But he's wearing the same charcoal suit blazer over his usual t-shirt. And we learn that Sol Sikoa is with Roman right now, and they're on their way. Sami's nervous and goes to get some water to decompress. Jada's excited for Sami to become a full-blown Uso, but Jimmy doesn't think it's happening, and he's worried they're setting him up for a big disappointment. Jado is committed to tonight being a good night for Sammy. And then you also get footage of last week's Blackout from Uncle Howdy's perspective of singing at a tied up and masked LA Knight. He takes the mask off and palms LA Knight's face while struggling. And then of course, that was showing footage from last week. And then we show LA Knight walk through the arena, one eye over his shoulder, and of course he's getting ready to, go out there to address Bray Wyatt. But yeah, like I said, I definitely, okay, yes, this will be the first time that Roman Reigns has been on TV, I believe, since the Bloodline won at War Games. So it's interesting, of course, but again, I was a little disappointed by the whole makeover thing with Sami Zayn. It wasn't what I thought it would be, but anyways, LA Knight comes out. And he tells the crowd to shut up because he has some business to do. For the last few weeks, he's been blindsided and cheap-shotted at every turn, but it's still here knocking on Bray Wyatt's door. But all Bray has done since coming back is talk a bunch of gobbledygook, dress like a clown, and blindside him backstage. He doesn't buy Bray's "it wasn't me" talk and tells him to put on whatever mask and costume he needs to and call himself whatever. Come out here and he can get stomped out. Bray Wyatt, though, comes out just as himself. He's sick and tired of this game. He knows LA Knight doesn't believe him. He understands why, but he's barking up the wrong tree. He hasn't touched him. And deep down, they both know how this story ends. And he'll give LA Knight one last chance to deliver his message. And he better deliver, if good, and deliver it right. And then LA Knight blindsides him and starts beating down on Bray Wyatt in the corner, stomping the crap out of him. Until Uncle Howdy appears on the Titantron. And he asks what he's done and if he wants to see something really scary. And then LA Knight's like, screw this, and starts putting, beating down Wyatt again. Until Uncle Howdy shows up on the stage, not on the Tron. Someone literally walked out dressed as Uncle Howdy, tips his hat, and then grabs his lapels and laughs and laughs and laughs and laughs as LA Knight slides out of the ring, just even more frightened because this whole time we're given this idea that Bray Wyatt is Uncle Howdy. But now Uncle Howdy is somebody else. So I said last week, okay, I love that Bray Wyatt's back. And again, I don't know if they're trying to get this to the Rumble, but again, I said, pick up the pace here with this stuff with Bray Wyatt. It's starting to get a little dragging, a little slow a little bit. But this blindsiding us, showing that Uncle Howdy is not Bray Wyatt, leaves me very intrigued. And wondering, of course, who is Uncle Howdy? And is this going to be where they start expanding? Are we going to see more of the Wyatt Six? Now you're kind of getting my gears going again with this. So, good work there. That was definitely, to me, a must-see moment for sure. Now, of course, we see that Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman arrive at the arena just in time for the Intercontinental title match with Gunther and Ricochet. And my goodness, remember back when Ricochet was Intercontinental Champion earlier this year and Gunther squashed him? Yeah, that was not the case. Ricochet had heart and soul vibes on him in this match. This match was excellent. It was a banger, a near fall, classic banger. Excuse me. I know there was some great counters. Ricochet looked like the Ricochet of old again from NXT. I like how I think Gunther tried doing a maneuver on Ricochet that would easily put him down with his power, but then Ricochet was able to land on his feet from the maneuver. So many great near falls. We had Gunther kicking out of a shooting star press. I don't think Ricochet got to hit a 360 on him though. And the chops, the power bombs. It was taking a lot to get Ricochet down. But Gunther, though, once again, in order to beat someone, because he did this with Rey Mysterio also. He had to revert to a different move to win. He did the Last Symphony, which is like some sort of like a scoop lip, like kind of like a power slam, like Braun Strowman. That's how he got the win. Because I think against Rey, he did some like clothesline thing. Like, I do like how, yes, Gunther has been very challenged lately by some other people, but it's been causing him to kind of pull like a different maneuver out of him to be able to pull off the victory. Which again, I like that. I do like that they're making him show that he has to go a different route to get his victories. But I thought he made Ricochet like $1 million in this match. Like, this is the Ricochet I've been wanting for a long time again. And yes, he's not 100% what he was in NXT, but he's quite a bit of what he was before. So Gunther retains. Afterwards, Imperium beats down until Braun Strowman comes out and makes the save. So this is one set up for a Miracle on 34th Street Fight tag match next week with Braun Strowman and then Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci taking on Braun Strowman and Ricochet in a Miracle on 34th Street Fight. Okay, whatever. So we have that. Jimmy Uso goes to see Roman backstage, and Roman asks him what he's planning and if he's really going to leave him out of the loop. If he's going to make Sammy tonight a full-blown Uso. But he's with it. He loves Sammy, but he loves his family. And he loves the bloodline. He loves Roman. He doesn't want to make him, and if he doesn't want to make him, he gets it. And then, of course, a slight concentration comes across Roman's face, and Jimmy quickly makes his exit. And that's when Reigns tells Heyman to call Adam Pearce. But, of course, Paul Heyman uses his Siri and goes, "Call Pearce." It wasn't just Adam Pearce, it was "Call Pearce." So then Adam Pearce shows up. Heyman says Roman has chosen to bless him with a way out of that mess with Bobby Lashley, proposing a match. Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn in a tag match against Kevin Owens and a partner of his choosing, which could even be Pearce himself. He asks if tonight works, and then he gets laughed at. It's like, nah, not gonna happen. He says, what about at the Royal Rumble? But then Paul suggests, actually, why not give us just 2 weeks? We can do it live on Fox on December 30th in Tampa. Roman's cool with it, so the match is official. And Pearce will go let KO know. But of course, who is going to be that partner? We'll have to find out. We didn't have this triple threat tag match, which turned into a number one contenders match with Hit Row, Ashante Thee Adonis, and Top Dollar, Legado del Fantasma, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde, and the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, of course, with Zelina Vega in the corner for Legado del Fantasma, B-Fab for Hit Row, and Valhalla, formerly known as Sarah Logan, for the Viking Raiders. This match actually was going pretty good. It was, I think, honestly, and I'll give them credit here, Viking Raiders, are definitely gaining a lot of steam, as they're definitely catching my eye more. And why, again, they've always had the wrestling. As on the main roster, they lacked the character. Now that they have a character, though, now it's more like it for me. So I'm digging that. Legado del Fantasma, though, again, I've always said, like, Santos Escobar is definitely, the best part of him. I gotta give Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde credit there. They were pulling out some maneuvers I haven't seen them do yet. Like, they didn't feel like jobbing cronies like they were in NXT for a long time. They felt like they could have legitimately won this match. I was very impressed with them in this match. And then there's Hit Row. So apparently there was an article that came out this past week that Triple H is a little underwhelmed with some of the talents he brought back. And I'm pretty sure one of them is Hit Row. Don't get me wrong, I love Hit Row, but I just don't think they're the same without Swerve. Like, I think if they're gonna be successful on the main roster and they can't get Swerve back, they need to add in a third member. And I still think that could be Carmelo Hayes in NXT. I think he'd be a great fit being a part of Hit Row. But of course, they won the match. Okay, but what hurt it though is Top Dollar tried doing a sunset flip, or whatever you want to call it, over the top rope, like Keith Lee style and whatnot. And he botched it. He got his freaking foot stuck in the rope and he just botched it. Which he may have legitimately gotten hurt on it, which would suck if that did happen. But eventually though, they were able to recover from it and they got the win. So yeah, that of course, did hurt the match, of course, that botch, that very terrible botch, but it may have, of course, also affected Hit Row as well. But they'll be taking on the Usos next week for the Undisputed Tag Titles. I doubt they're winning because I feel like they still have a little bit of ways to go before you can take them a little more seriously. Like I said, it's not Adonis, it's not B-Fab, and it's not Top Dollar. I like all those guys. It's just I'm more and more starting to feel like, yeah, I would have rather had Swerve come back with him as well, but he's on his own doing his own thing. What can you do? Raquel Rodriguez is being interviewed in the trainer's room, basically saying that she's recovering well from her elbow injury and she plans on getting payback on Ronda Rousey, and she will be in next week's Gauntlet match to crown a new number one contender. Of course, that was until Ronda and Shayna appeared and beat her down, so maybe she may not be in the Gauntlet match. Who knows? I'm pretty sure, though, it's somehow going to lead to a match of the Rumble with Ronda and Raquel. Fine, whatever. Then we had the closing segment. Roman Reigns the Bloodline come out against Sami Zayn in his blazer and ponytailed hair. Roman gets on the mic and asks Chicago to acknowledge him. And he says he ain't seen his Bloodline since War Games. In case you didn't know, they dominated. Tonight is the night, and every night is a good night for the Tribal Chief. But was it going to be a good night for Sami Zayn? Well, sorry, tonight was going to be a good night for Sami Zayn. But they've got a KO problem. KO won't leave Sami alone. He keeps stalking him and trying to drag him down, and that means he's a problem for Roman too. And if he's a problem for Roman, he's a problem for the Bloodline. Don't worry though. The Tribal Chief has a solution. He's going to team with Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens and whoever Owens wants. And they're going to smash him. And we're never going to see KO again. Sami agrees and says Owens is a cancer and he's driven everyone away. And he is his only friend. To which Sami Zayn, of course, backpedals because Roman gives him that glare. But he goes, well, was. But it'll be his honor to team against Kevin Owens and take him out. And then somebody appears on the Tron. That somebody was already advertised to be appearing on SmackDown in a couple of weeks. But of course, now he's already given us what he's going to be doing. That's right, Mr. John Cena appears on the Tron and says everyone loves a good holiday surprise. Was he surprised, though, when he got a text from his old friend Kevin Owens? And basically, well, first off, Cena's making jokes about all these emojis Owens used, but basically Kevin Owens asked him to be his tag partner, and as it will happen, though, it'll cause Cena to have his only match in 2022, and he will keep his streak alive of how many years in a row he's had a match in WWE. And of course he accepts it, and we're going to be seeing in 2 weeks Owens, Cena teaming up against Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, which should be a hell of a match. Of course, though, it does make me wonder, though, if that was the case all along, and if this is just a one-off for Cena, why did they already have him revealed to be showing up on that exact episode of SmackDown, though? You know, like if this is just a one-off, might as well just do it. You know, just have done this segment, because this felt kind of like, you know, I was excited to see Cena, but now it's like, it's kind of like revealing like what he's gonna do. Like, you thought maybe he would be announcing for the Royal Rumble, or he could be, you know, announcing, you know, a match for WrestleMania, maybe of some sorts. It was just good, but again, it was kind of like, okay, but we already know that he's gonna be here, so why is, you know, I don't know, being nitpicky, but I think the match is gonna be awesome. And that was SmackDown. I gave it a B. That was a good show. A lot of great stuff happened, I thought. Again, with Uncle Howdy, Hit Row, despite Top Dollar botching, you know, winning number one contender for the tag titles. Roman, Sami, and John Cena all happened. And, you know, just, of course, we saw Uncle Howdy as well. And we find out that Uncle Howdy is not Bray Wyatt. But that, guys, that does it for the show. What are your guys' thoughts on this episode of SmackDown? I gave it a B. Again, I'm hoping to be, you know, live tomorrow for a retro live review and try to get the ball rolling with the retro. I mean, not the retro, with the live streams again. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Make sure you guys leave your thoughts down in the comments section below, and be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe to more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy90. At the Club of Demand 93. Be sure as always to shout for Meatball Sub and follow me on TikTok as well at the Club of Demand 1993. So until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later and have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.